Hello, my friends. This is episode 245, where we're chatting about what to watch out for in common keto foods. All the things you think are keto, but they hide ingredients in them. If you are struggling to maintain a good ketone balance, you're going to need to listen to today's episode. Now, as I've done for episodes 238 and 241, I am reading from my digital program, The Keto Beginning. So many of you have said that you've enjoyed these super informational episodes. We get down to business real quick and you're really enjoying them. And I'm enjoying reading a couple of pages from this program. If you want to grab your copy, you can go to healthfulpursuit.com/begin. Now, this is the program that I developed in 2014 and then reiterated in 2017 and then again in 2018 as up-and-coming research is developed and things change. I'm always wanting to make sure that all my digital programs, including Fat Fueled, the Keto Bundle, even the Keto Holiday Cookbook, Balanced Keto, Happy Keto Body, are all updated to reflect all recent things. Now, when I list off all those things, oh my gosh, I've been so busy and I'm so proud of this suite of products. And I hope that you get the benefit from me reading a couple of paragraphs here. And again, you can get your copy at healthfulpursuit.com/begin. If you want to catch up on previous podcast episodes, you can go to ketodietpodcast.com. And also, if you have questions about today's content, head on over to healthfulpursuit.com/contact and ask me. Okay, let's do this thing. Hey, I'm Leanne Vogel, and you're listening to the Keto Diet Podcast. I've put together a free 21-page guide on achieving weight loss on your keto diet if nothing is working. Did you know imbalanced hormones are generally at the core of all struggles that women face when it comes to our weight? Grab your free guide at ketoforwomen.com to get the steps you need to overcome the hurdles standing in your way. Thanks so much for listening, and let's get started with the show. Ingredients to be wary of. Now, if you're eating all fresh foods, you really don't need to worry. Fresh is best, and I found that fresh is also easiest when you're running on ketones. Having said that, there are a handful of store-bought products that I turn to on a day-to-day basis, especially when I'm traveling. Like all store-bought things, price and quality can vary wildly from product to product. Now, in today's episode, I really want to outline my favorite store-bought goodies, as well as a few things to watch out for if you should choose to make these items a regular part of your keto life too. So the first one is coconut milk. Now, coconut is totally keto and awesome, right? Well, coconut milk is made by grating fresh coconut meat and then pressing it to extract the white milk from the flesh. It can be purchased in many different concentrations. From the coconut milk you'll find in the refrigerated section of your local grocery store. You can consider this light coconut milk because it has been diluted and there's very little oil left in the liquid. That's why when you put it in the fridge, it doesn't solidify. It's just basically liquid coconut essence. These products will also often have ingredients added to them to enhance flavor, improve taste, and create a thicker consistency. Watch out for phosphates, guar gum, xanthan gum, water, polysorbates, extracts, and flavors. Now, most canned coconut milk contains 5 to 17% fat. That's a major keto win. Now, sometimes canned coconut milk also contains gums and preservatives. Like canned vegetables, these coconut milks are processed in the can for 90 minutes at high temperature and pressure. Now, this is not ideal if you're concerned about all of the juiciness in the can getting into your food. Now, coconut fat is made up of 15% medium chain triglycerides, or MCTs, or AKA fatty acids. Now, MCTs fall into the saturated fat category, but they are not treated the same way as long-chain fats in the areas of digestion, utilization, or transportation throughout the body. Today's episode continues after this short message from one of my sponsors who make the show possible, plus give you some great deals on my favorite things. So I'm doing this new thing when it comes to food prep. Every couple of days, I just don't eat a regular meal. I switch out my regular meal for a loaded keto shake. It takes seconds to whip up, keeps me full until dinner time. So here's what I put in it. a scoop of prime protein, a handful of spinach, a drop of peppermint oil, cashew milk, chia seeds, and boom, keto shake. It's delicious. Now, Prime Protein is made by Equip. It's a doctor-developed line of supplements made 100% from real foods and none of the junk you're going to find in other supplements. What I like about Prime Protein is that it's made with all-natural grass-fed beef isolate protein and therefore doesn't ruin your gut or cause inflammation like whey. Instead, it contains collagen and gelatin that repairs your joints and soft tissues, something that a plant-based protein just won't. Just like whey doesn't taste like cheese, like could you imagine cheese smoothies? Prime Protein doesn't taste like a steak, just chocolate through and through. Each bag has 30 servings and each serving is 24 grams of protein. Mix that in with a little fat and you're set. When you place your first order with Equip, you're going to receive 20% off. All you got to do is head to equipfoods.com/KDP. That's EQUIP foods.com/KDP. Load up your cart and use the code KDP for your 20% off. And if you're interested in collagen, they have that too. It's not flavored, it's just plain, and it's a great price, especially with the discount. Again, that's equipfoods.com/KDP with the coupon code KDP for 20% off your first order. Okay, enjoy. Now, not as concentrated as MCT oil, a common ingredient throughout the meal plan that I've shared in chapter 10 of the Keto Beginning, coconut fat has similar properties in that it will support the development of ketone bodies. Therefore, it is important to find a superior quality coconut milk product that contains high levels of coconut fat. Really, the easiest thing is go to your supermarket, look at all the coconut milks, and choose the highest fat content that doesn't have a bunch of funky ingredients with it. Another thing to keep in mind with coconut milk is that the carbohydrates per serving can differ drastically between brands. There are some coconut milks that have upwards of 5 grams of carbs per quarter cup. Now, I generally stay away from these and go for the higher fat content with the lower carbohydrate, but it really depends on what's available. Also, make sure to note serving sizes when you're comparing coconut milk. So you'll be standing at the grocery store with all these different options, and some of them will be using grams, and some of them will be using milliliters, and some of them will be using cups. Oh, it's just so confusing. Some of them ounces. So you really have to just take your time, use a conversion, and know that all of your energy that you're putting toward this, you only have to do it once, and then you know what's available. It's a lot harder if you're a traveler like me and you never go to the same grocery store twice. Then you're always looking for new things and you just have to be patient with it all. So in summary, look for a coconut milk that is free from phosphates, guar gum, xanthan gum, water, polysorbates, extracts, and flavor. Now, I say water because a lot of these brands just make a little coconut milk, add a bunch of water, and then you're paying $3 for a can of water. It should also be low in carbohydrates, less than 2 grams per half a cup serving, high in fat, more than 13 grams per quarter cup serving, and contained in a BPA-free can or non-refrigerated Tetra packs. Those are my favorite. Next up is nut and seed butters. Now, you should be looking for a high-fat, low-protein, and low-carbohydrate nut butter. Nuts that meet these requirements are going to be macadamia nut butter, pecan, walnut, flaxseed, and sunflower seeds. Those are the powerhouses. When I'm looking to supplement a small portion of my protein intake with plant-based paleo-friendly protein, I use hemp seeds and almonds. Now, almonds are especially rich in calcium, and they're really great. A tip here is to avoid nut butters with cashews, okay? This is a pro tip. They're really high in carbohydrates and super easy to just pound down. That's not to say that you can never have cashews. In fact, I cook with them a lot of the time, but because nut butters are so easy to overeat, it's really good advice to stick with the lower carb options. You'll thank me later, promise. So the big problem with store-bought nut butters is that a lot of them have sugar, soybean oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. The best thing you can do is make your own nut or seed butter, and you'll save loads of money doing this. You can create combinations that are awesome. I've included a couple of my favorite nut butter recipes on chapter 11 that are exclusive to the Keto Beginning. If you don't want to make your nut butter, some brands that I really like are Super Fat. They are a sponsor of the podcast. Love those guys. The packets are great. I travel with them all the time. We have a little bag that we travel with when we go on our dinghy because we live on a boat and our dinghy is basically our car. And we have a travel pack that has our VHF radio and our first aid kit and water and Super Fat. Always 3 packets minimum. Another great one is F-Bomb. They make great nut butters. And if you can enjoy a little bit of cashew butter, Perfect Keto makes an amazing nut butter. But it has cashews and you can put it in the fridge and it kind of solidifies a bit. And I've been known to eat a whole jar in one sitting, which is why I shared that pro tip with you. So when making your own nut butters, you can add avocado oil to the mix and it'll boost your fat content and make the butter really drippy. It's so good. And if you're into that sort of thing, it's great. You can also use cacao butter or MCT oil. It's good. It's good. Okay, bacon. Now, there's lean bacon and then there's not so lean bacon. Any guesses what we're going to be looking for? Yeah, the high fat stuff. Be aware of bacon from the grocery store, as more than likely it's been cured with sugar, salted with table salt, and not all that great for your body. It's next to impossible to find uncured bacon under $10. Like, I've tried, it's impossible, especially in Canada. However, sliced pork belly is essentially bacon, but without anything added. It's just straight up sliced bacon strips. Most butchers can prepare it for you at a very reasonable price. Just call around, ask for sliced pork belly, and you'll be set. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is like a staple in our dairy-free keto kitchen. And it's worth noting that store-bought mayonnaise is usually made with a base of vegetable oil. Even the ones that say avocado oil mayo or olive oil mayo, they lie. Read the ingredients. There's sunflower, soy. Watch out for these. Now you can make your own. I've included a recipe in the Keto Beginning, or you could also use brands like Primal Kitchen. I love their mayo. Super great. Chosen Foods is another good one. You can get it at Costco. Super easy to find. Today's episode continues after this short message from one of my sponsors who make the show possible, plus give you some great deals on my favorite things. Superfat is a certified keto and paleo line of macadamia and almond-based convenient on-the-go nut butter pouches with 5 different dairy-free flavors. My favorite flavor is cacao coconut, lightly sweet, perfectly salty, and so chocolatey. With 22 plant-based fats, 3 grams of net carbs, 2 grams of sugars with no added sugar, 5 grams of protein, and 6 grams of fiber. I chow down on Superfat. When we're sailing, I pack them in my trail bag. I just started using them for beach volleyball and long flights for easy fat on the go. Each pouch contains about 50% more than other nut butter pouches, with healthy plant fats found in Superfat support sustained levels of energy, cognition, and mental clarity. Macadamia nuts are found in all flavors and are scientifically proven to help speed up metabolism. And Superfat just launched cookie bites in chocolate chip, peanut butter chocolate chip, and snickerdoodle. Now they're made with dairy, but they sure look tasty and super crunchy. You can use the code Leanne, all in caps, for 15% off when you go to superfat.com. That's Leanne as the code for your 15% off by going to superfat.com. If you're unsure of the link, you can check out today's show notes at ketodietpodcast.com for all the details. Okay, pork rinds, because we've just talked about mayo. We have to talk about pork rinds. If you have not had a pork rind, you have not lived. You must go and seek them out. They're so good. Before I became interested in ketosis, I thought pork rinds were disgusting. Oh my gosh. Turns out they're delicious. They're fried skin of pork and they're so good. You can make your own. I did this once. It sucked. I'll never do it again. Or you can find them ready to go at many grocery stores. I like to avoid pork rinds with lots of sodium just because I have concerns over eating the wrong kind of salt, which we go through in the program. Also, make sure to opt for pork rinds that are free from MSG. Pork rinds should have only 3 ingredients: pork skin, lard, ideally sea salt. The reason I don't eat pork rinds all too often is because they're pretty high in protein. One serving consists of 50 grams of protein and about 30 grams of fat. And because it's impossible to confirm what quality of lard or other oil has been used in the process of frying, they're not the cleanest option out there. Now, nowadays, 2020, no big deal. You can totally find pork rinds made with coconut oil, tallow, lard really easily. They also make really great pancakes, which I share in the program. And also, if you go to the Google machine and type in keto popcorn Healthful Pursuit, you'll find a little magic there for you. Okay, condiments. This is a big one. I love condiments, specifically. I don't even know. I just love them all. So I choose to make my own condiments. You can find recipes in chapter 11 if you already have the keto beginning. I also share a bunch of them in my cookbook, the Keto Diet Cookbook. You can pick it up at any bookstore. It's in Costco in Canada and a bunch of places. I like making the condiments because it saves me money and I avoid the headache of reading every single label of all the things. I'd estimate that 90% of the condiment labels I've read, the ones that toot like low carb, blah, 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 are actually packed with a bunch of artificial garbage. So I like making my own. You get to decide, but it's really important. Never trust a label. If it says low carb, read it anyway. If it says keto, read it anyway. Make sure that you understand what ingredients are in the foods that you're eating. So that was a big one. Those are like the common things that I notice day in and day out as being on keto for as long as I have. Now, if you think that I've missed one or you'd like me to talk more about keto foods, what to look out for, you can contact me at healthfulpursuit.com/contact. Send me an email. Let me know if you think that I forgot a food or if you'd like me to talk about a food. I love talking about the foods. Okay, next up on the podcast, Sunday, May 3rd, we have episode 246. My friend Colin Stuckert is coming on the show to talk about transitioning from keto to carnivore and bringing in whole food based approaches to the keto carnivore style. Sunday, May 10th, episode 247, we have Dr. Josh Axe. This is a repeat of an episode that we did many, many moons ago. It's really good. We're talking about cleansing on keto, so watch for that. And thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Keto Diet Podcast. Join us again in a couple of days to discover more Keto for Women secrets for your fat-fueled life. The Keto Diet Podcast, including show notes and links, provides information in respect to healthy living, nutrition, and diet, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor should it be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Keto Diet Podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without any representations or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified physician for medical advice and always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.